Lonerbox reacts to the South Korean president declaring martial law, highlighting the authoritarian move, the political tension, and its impact on the nation's struggle for democracy.
I've read the Federalist Papers.
We begin with breaking news from South Korea, where President Yoon Suk-yeol has used a surprise late-night TV address to declare martial law. President Yoon said the move was necessary to protect the country from what he called communist forces. Opposition leaders have condemned the announcement as illegal and unconstitutional and said they would seek to nullify it. The president has struggled to push his agenda in the opposition-controlled parliament, which has blocked next year's budget. Here is South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol.
I declare martial law to protect the Free Republic of Korea from the threat of North Korean communist forces, to eradicate the despicable pro-North Korean anti-state forces that are plundering the freedom and happiness of our people, and to protect the free constitutional order.
Right, straight to journalist Fabian Kretschmer in the South Korean capital, Seoul. Welcome, Fabian. What does martial law mean in this context? What will change?
Yeah, we're also struggling to really understand, and some things are rather vague, I would say, but at least according to Yonhap, that's the semi-official news agency here, for the time being, all political activities are banned. That includes also activities by the parties. So that is a huge step. Also, the activities of media publishing houses are also restricted, even though I have to admit I'm not quite sure to what degree. But as you can see, this is really a very radical step, and there are far-reaching consequences, which probably we will also fully understand only in the next couple of hours and days. But this really reminds you about the past in North Korea. I mean, we know martial law was called during the days of the military dictatorship, but never since the country became a democratic and a free country.
As you've been speaking, we've been looking at live pictures from outside the Parliament building, and there are clearly crowds gathering there. So what are these communist forces that the president said he's trying to protect the country from?
Good question.
Yeah, so basically the president, who's a conservative president, right-wing president, he accused the opposition, the left-leaning party of...
Mainstream media now admits Israel is breaching Lebanon ceasefire. Does no one ever read the things? If you read the terms of the ceasefire and you read the allegations that have been traded back and forth, it's either you would either conclude that they haven't breached the ceasefire, or we just don't know, because it depends on whether or not they actually did see Hezbollah people moving south. Which seems to be that they did, because there were Hezbollah rockets, like short-range rockets, fired into Mount Dove, so... Bizarre.
Sympathizing with North Korea, of undergoing anti-state activities. But to be honest, I mean, he was very vague in his accusations, in his critique, and he didn't deliver any concrete accusations, but really just rather those vague things that you sometimes hear from demonstrators or from right-wing politicians. But that, to me, it's really very hard to understand what he really actually means. So we know that there have been fights over the next year's budget, that basically there was a stalemate. We also know that Yoon Suk-yeol was under domestic political pressure. His popularity rate was extremely low. So there might be some motivation also from domestic political pressure. There was a possible corruption scandal, at least that's what the opposition says, about his about his wife. So really a very tense situation. But when you see those pictures of the protesters gathering in front of the National Assembly, that's really interesting. Right now, the exit and entrance to this this building, to the parliament, to the National Assembly is blocked. And the Speaker of the National Assembly has basically requested all members of the parliament to gather inside in the plenary hall, while actually outside the demonstrators gather. And I'm not sure, there have been small clashes with police, but so far I'm not sure how massively this will escalate. Probably, I mean, I'm about to head also to the National Assembly soon, and it is really a quite tense atmosphere.
OK, so as I say, looking at live pictures from outside the National Assembly as you speak, talk us through the political reaction to this move, please, Fabian.
Bro. You know, if I was a millionaire, I'd be throwing out some defamation suits right now. Because there is just it would be so easy to prove that this is intentionally, maliciously dishonest. The creators who say this. I would get myself a John Eastman, a fine Jewish lawyer. I'd get myself a guy who dresses up in fucking animal skins, who has at least 3 dead animals on his body at all times. With the most disgusting comb over. I would do it. I'd get Dershowitz to do it just for the memes.
Yeah, that's really interesting. Of course, there was massive critique by the opposition. The opposition leader, Lee Jae-myung, basically said this is wrong, and that basically this martial law was called for no reason. And he even said that he's afraid that soon there will be tanks and soldiers.
There must be someone. There must be some... There must be some pro-Israel lawyers who just do this shit for fun, right? Who just attack anti-Semites, or who they consider anti-Semites, for fun. Like, they do it for free. They must exist, right? There must be a proper... And they call themselves the Irgun Squad.
With rifles guarding the country. And so this was to be expected. But even within Yoon Suk-yeol, the president's own party, the governing party, there was also quite some harsh words. So the chief of his own party also called this decision wrong. And he said that he and the people will try to stop this martial law. So this is really a very controversial decision. And the critique is not only by the opposition, but also by Yoon Suk-yeol's own government. So
let's just return to the context you gave us at the top, Fabian. You said that we haven't seen these scenes for some time. So this has happened before?
No, I mean, I called with local reporters, also parliamentary reporters. It caught us all by surprise. I mean, nobody expected this. And so we know that during the military dictatorship, Park Chung-hee, who governed in the 60s and 70s, he called martial law. And also during the 80s, it was called and had really far-reaching consequences. There was even a curfew that in nighttime you were not allowed to be on the street, etc. And always this martial law was justified with the threat by North Korea.
Do you know they declared martial law in South Korea? I'm just finding out now. It's fucking mental. All right.
Yeah, and I mean, indeed, now the tensions between North and South Korea are really high, and it is a very tense situation. But I don't see any justification, at least from the knowledge that I have now, to really call in martial law. That really seems like a very radical decision and really unprecedented in South Korea's at least young democratic history.
And despite this use of this term, martial law, no sign of the army or tanks on the streets at this stage?
Yeah, so, I mean, I have to also, I mean, this is an ongoing development, but I know that the Speaker of the National Assembly basically called the military and also the police, told them, please stay calm, stay in position. That's the latest that I've heard, but I mean, who knows how things will develop. I just hope it will stay calm and it will not escalate further. But security forces are already blocking the entry and exit of the parliamentary building, which is quite concerning. Ooh. And yeah, probably I would not expect the demonstrators in front of that building to go home soon. So I would say this could escalate, yeah, any moment.
Okay, thank you for that, Fabian. Fabian Kretschmer in the South Korean capital, Seoul. Let me just recap that breaking news that we started the programme with. South Korea's president has declared martial law, citing what he called a threat from the communist north. More, of course, are on that as we get it.
Happy birthday, Lonerbox. Oh, thank you. Wow.
The issue of...
Okay. Okay. I just want to play video games. You want to do South Korea coverage 24/7? Yeah, maybe. It's possible. Fucking... Have you finished Syria research? No, I was supposed to do it today, but we can wait. Okay. Oh, we know that listen, hey, we know that the martial law is over because Agenda Free TV stopped streaming 22 minutes ago. That's okay. We know the result. Don't worry, we have the goat to explain to us. We have our spiritual leader.
연결 과정에서 연결이 고르지 못한 점 시청자 여러분께 양해 말씀드립니다. 다시 한번 윤석열
Well, this came back. Hang on. This is just that same coverage from before, which I have access to. I think that's old video there. And then here is the guy's yelling pretty loud. All right, I'm trying to pull up this other feed. There's the other feed, right there. Guys, look, we got this one too. Does that have audio on it? I don't even know. Might not be that loud. Just for the heck of it, let me show you this other feed here. That's also outside the Parliament building. Oh, I think maybe somebody's doing a live stream there or something. Or people are live streaming. I can see people live streaming there. I mean, obviously this is a live stream you're watching from AFP, but there's other people live streaming there. Oh, hold on. Oh, breaking news. Hold on. Breaking news. Breaking news. President says withdrawing martial law troops. Yonhap News says President, first report, President withdrawing martial law troops. I just saw that from Yonhap News. President withdrawing martial law troops. Let's see if I can get some more on that. So we'll see. We'll see if that's actually happening. I think that's maybe what they're cheering about. I think maybe that's what they're cheering about. I believe he has announced he is lifting martial law. I believe that has just happened. That the president has announced he's lifting martial law. I'm seeing it reported multiple places. But let me just try to get you a good confirmation of it. Yes, News One Korea says... Wait, what is it here? No, that's not it. Anyways. I'm seeing it reported that the president has lifted martial law. I'm just trying to find a really the Yonhap post was a little bit vague. Yes, breaking up. Hold on. Why does it say President Yang? Hold on. Why does the headline say President Yang? The headline I'm looking at the Yonhap site right now. It says President Yang said martial law will be lifted through the cabinet meeting. But it's President Yoon. Is that just a typo? The full name is Yoon Suk Yeol. So that's why that's why I just want to confirm it. That's why I just want to confirm it here. But I believe the president has announced that they're lifting martial law. Yes. Okay, I have it here. Vincent Lee of Bloomberg reports that Yonhap says that President Yoon says that martial law measures will be formally terminated through a state council meeting. This is a procedural requirement per the Constitution. So, okay. Basically, South Korean president says martial law over. That's basically what he says. He said martial law measures will be formally terminated through a state council meeting. Yes, Mike Valerio says President Yoon says he will end martial law and make it official once all his cabinet members are assembled. Okay, there you go. Okay, there we go. So there you go. I think that's why we heard the people start to cheer there. Well, guys, we started about 10 p.m. local time, 10:15 p.m., a shocking announcement by the president that there was going to be martial law imposed where the military takes control of the country. Seemed like it was a declaration against opposition politicians in South Korea, opposition leadership. That seems to be that this was a domestic political matter rather than there was no attack by a foreign country or anything cited at all. And I want to say around an hour or so after the declaration, the parliament, as they're constitutionally allowed to do, voted unanimous. Well, 190 to 0. It was hard for the members had to come in at night, and some of them were being kept away from the Parliament building by the authorities. But enough members got to Parliament to vote 190 to 0 to rescind this measure, rescind this declaration of martial law. And the president constitutionally is supposed to go along with that, but he didn't say anything for hours afterwards. But finally, at about 4:30 a.m., the president has said he's going to rescind martial law, and whether the president will survive this, he was already greatly unpopular. I don't know if it sounds like he may resign. It may end up with him resigning or being impeached. I don't know, but this is a pretty big deal. But it was a short martial law declaration. So, anyways, I'm going to start wrapping up this stream because as I mentioned, I'm in Mexico City, where I came just for a visit. I just got here yesterday, and as to why he did this, and did he think the military in the country was going to go along with this, that I can't tell you. I don't know why he did this specifically, what the strategy was. But anyways, hey, you know what I'm glad about? I'm really glad that this setup I have here seemed to have worked. I am not in my normal studio. I have a very makeshift setup here that I had to bring with me, but it does seem to have worked. No major technical difficulties. It might not look or sound as good as it normally does, but at least it seems to have worked. So while I am here, I will certainly bring you big news coverage if there's big news that happens like this. No, I don't have an air fryer here, so I'm going to have to go get some food. I haven't even eaten. I've eaten nothing. I've literally eaten nothing today. I don't have any food here. I was going to go to the market this morning. So I appreciate you joining me. If I see updates, I'll post it on my X account, which is @Lookner on X. I will post a link to that in the chat, @Lookner. Follow me there for updates. So I will post there. Where is it here? Hold on. What happened here? What happened here? Oops. There's my X account, @Lookner. So you can follow me there and subscribe and follow Agenda Free TV. We cover all kinds of live breaking news here. Agenda Free TV without an agenda. I really appreciate you guys sending comments in and sending news tips in. I'm sorry I couldn't get to more comments. It's been a kind of a crazy development, crazy stream, but I really appreciate people writing and chatting. And big shout out to our moderators as well. Oh, by the way, turn on notifications. We have a notification system. It's free. You can sign up and you'll get notified every time we go live, because who knows when we're coming on live, when big news is going to break like this. So make sure you sign up to the notifications. The mods will post a link to the notifications sign up in the chat. And you can also find that link at the Facebook and YouTube description of this video. Okay? So sign up for the notifications. Big thanks to our moderators who have been here. Shout out. We had a lot of people in the chat, and I really appreciate our moderators there, keeping things under control, like Beth Mythical and Ruth Krafasi and RJ, all there right now. Thank you. And all of our other YouTube moderators who've been there, Linda Belk and Larry on X, over there on Twitch. Hang on. All disorganized here. We have moderating over there. Hearsay, I Got That Fire, and Surly Dev are all there over there on Twitch, and all of our other Twitch moderators. And our Facebook moderators who have been there, you guys are awesome. Thank you, Kay Lowry Body, Ronald Egnor, Margaret Riley. You can see people cheering there. Outside the Parliament building. I'm trying to thank our Facebook moderators. If I can get the chat to appear. But I know Kay was there, and Ronald Egnor was there, and Margaret Riley was there. Oh, there we go. All of our mods over there, thank you. Hey, huge thanks to, and people are, you can see people are streaming from out there. Huge thanks to everybody who donated. That is super nice of you guys. I really appreciate your support of the channel. So kind of you. Hopefully I got everybody. I hope. Let me just double check and make sure I got everybody. X Kingley. Thank you, X Kingley, for your support. Who said there's a Reddit video of the leader of the South Korean Party, Democratic Party, the opposition party, climbing over a blockade wall to enter parliament. Thank you. I can't show that. I don't have the rights to you, but I'll have to look it up. Thank you so much, X Kingley. I appreciate that. Also, Amorous Moonborn. I don't know if I thanked Amorous. And hold on a second here. If you ever want to donate, you can go to agendafree.tv, agendafree.tv. But again, thanks so much for your support of the channel.
Wow. Thank you, Lonerbox, for not playing mid-games. Rift is calling you. What the fuck is Rift? Thinking about WoW. Yeah. If you want to donate to the channel, go to this channel right here and press the Super Chats button and stop being a bunch of fucking cheap, despicable fucks who don't support your local creator with $5 a month, blah, 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 blah. Because obviously loads of serious court cases